If you've ever struggled at making El Reuteri yogurt with fresh from the farm milk, I'm going to show you quickly how to do it. The point I want to quickly drive home is that you're still going to follow all the normal instructions for making El Reuteri when it comes to your starter culture and adding inulin to your first few batches, okay? So just like Dr. William Davis talks about in his videos, you're going to follow the instructions with the starter culture and adding inulin, okay? Your first few batches. The key points that you have to remember that's going to make you successful when making this yogurt with your fresh from the farm milk is to first, number one, boil your milk. And I know this is really hard for those of you out there who have your family milk cows or who get that fresh from the farm milk on a regular basis. You think that boiling milk or pasteurizing milk is somehow bad. Understand that all yogurts historically have been boiled, okay? If you're going to make yogurt from milk, you must boil the milk. The reason you must do this for yogurt is because you're trying to culture culture that milk for the yogurt, and you want to give a completely clean slate for that culture, that specific culture you're trying to grow and thrive inside of that growing medium, which is the milk, okay? So people are like, well, I don't want to boil the milk because I want the benefits of the natural probiotics in the milk. Great. Then fine, just drink your milk then. You know, if you're trying to grow El Reuteri, you must start with a clean canvas so that El Reuteri can grow. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so you're going to boil the milk. The second thing you're going to remember, the key point is to keep your boil going for at least a minute. Get it up to temperature. It should be starting to froth. You're going to see a whole bunch of bubbles, and you want to keep it there for about a minute. Now, you're probably going to have to turn that heat down just so it doesn't boil over. So if it starts to rise up, turn it down or turn it off. Wait for a few seconds, keep stirring. You're always constantly stirring, just like what you want to be doing. You want to be stirring that during that entire boil time, okay? And then turn the heat back on and let it keep up to that temperature for about a minute. After the minute is over, you're going to remove that milk in that pot, and then you're going to put it inside of a cold water bath. It can be an ice bath, cold water, doesn't matter, but you're going to put it back in a bath and then inside a pot inside of another pot, and then you're going to stir that until it comes down to temperature. And you want to get it down to about 110, 105 degrees, okay? That's the experience I have had. 105, 110 degrees, because you're going to be putting that warm now milk inside of other containers that are not to temperature, and that's going to bring the temperature down even further. So if you get it down to 100 and then you pour it into like a room temperature or a colder bowl, it's going to bring it down below 100. So get it to about 105-ish, 110-ish, and then once you get to that, you can get your bowls ready and then pour it into the bowl. Number 3, the third point that you must remember, expect the cream and whey separation for the first 2 batches, especially the first batch. Okay, people will get that cream and the whey separation and they think they failed. Okay, that's completely and totally normal. You're going to get that separation. You can drink the whey. It's perfectly fine to drink. A lot of bodybuilders buy whey. It's totally healthy for you. Okay, you can keep the whey and keep the cream and then just eat it if you want to, or you can throw it out if you want. Doesn't matter. Throw it out. Some people are like, I can't throw it out. Don't throw it out, but eat it. But expect that cream and whey separation for the first 2 batches. Okay, especially the first. The fourth key point is this. For the first 3 batches, you're going to want to keep adding your culture, your inulin, and a tablespoon of your previous batch. Okay, so you're on your second batch. You're going to continue to add the culture, the El Reuteri culture, whatever you bought, the pills or the capsules or whatever. You're going to include that and the inulin, okay, and a tablespoon of your previous batch for your second and third batches. Okay, your third and fourth batch will probably turn out very creamy. After your third batch, all you need is just the starter from your old batch. You don't need to add inulin, and you don't need to add your starter culture pills or your tablets or whatever. Okay, so your fourth batch should be just remainder starter from your old batch. The fifth and final point to remember to be successful at this is to try and start your next batch with starter that is no more than a week old. Okay, freeze it if you must. So you got your batch, your fourth batch or your 23rd batch, whatever batch you're on. Make sure you start your next batch before that starter, that yogurt that's in your fridge, becomes a week old, over than a week old. Okay, if it's older than a week old, or you know it's going to be older than a week old, maybe you're going to go on a trip or whatever, go ahead and freeze it. Put it in a small jar and freeze it till you get back, and then put it in the fridge, thaw it out, and then use that for your next batch. But it's best to always have your starter be no more than a week old. I hope that makes sense. Guys, if you remember these 5 tips, you're going to be successful when using fresh from the farm milk, okay, with your L-Reuteri journey. There are so many benefits. You know, you've probably seen all the videos from Dr. William Davis, and you really want to use this, but you have access to raw milk. Maybe you have your own milk cow, and you want this to be successful. You follow these 5 points, and you will be successful. I highly, highly recommend getting this milk and cheese book. It talks about the history of yogurts in a couple of chapters, in a couple spots in the book. Very helpful information. All yogurts, again, were historically boiled. If you're not boiling your milk, you are basically making kefir. Okay, all yogurts are brought to boiling temperature. This book has been fantastic at talking about the historical, nature of milk and yogurts and cheeses and all these things that we don't know today, because most of these things had probiotics. They were full of probiotics, things that we don't have anywhere today. If you're buying anything at the store, really, you're not getting any of these probiotics, or very few of them, if any. So that's why I used this book to come up with these 5 tips on how to make this, because I know it's been a challenge for a lot of people. If you have found success with this, please come back to this video and leave a comment. If you found success with this, please come back to this video and leave a like. I really, really appreciate it. It's going to help me get the word out, and it's going to help spread the news on my channel. If you also like this video and you had success with it, please share it on social media. I really appreciate that as well. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on The Homestead. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down, and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the Homestead that we make here on the Homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.